I'm going to do a bag change, and I'm doing it here on the bed because I wanted to film this and I had a holder up here so it's easier for me to hold the camera. But I just wanted to show you what a bag change looks like. I have my plastic bag here that I'm going to tuck in. I have my new bag, which I'm going to open the end of it, which is kind of difficult at first. I'm gonna open it up and bend this because whenever you go to open it to empty it, it's easier for that. Some people take a little notch out of the end of it like that, and then that way it's easier to open it. But you need to close this bag before you do anything because, sorry, I did it backwards, because whenever you put your bag on, you don't want there to be any chance that there's going to be any output coming out, and you want to make sure that you have this closed. This one has a little tuck-in place so that these pointy corners don't hurt you. Like that. So basically, you have this bag ready. The new bags that are coming out that are better than these, they come out farther down here and they have a little bit better closure down here, and they have a different type of product. This right here doesn't absorb, it absorbs moisture and everything, and you can't take a shower with it because it gets wet and you have to dry it off, and that's a big problem. So just thought I'd let you know about that. Next thing is I'm going to use my adhesive remover spray, which is fabulous, by the way, and I'm spraying it all the way around the edge on the actual flange. And I'm going to let that sit there a little bit. While I let that sit there, I'm going to take my flange and I'm going to cut out my opening for my measurements here. And mine is 1 1/8 inches, and here's 1 inch right here, and I go in between this dotted line and this line here. So I'm going to take my curved scissors that they provided for me. They provided several different shears, but this is my favorite one because it just seems to work much better. I'm not exactly sure why the other ones don't cut well, but you can't hold them in your hands very well, and it's a problem trying to get them to work right. So these are my favorite. So you throw that little piece away. Make sure there aren't any sharp points in here. This has got just a teeny bit that I need to cut a teeny bit more out right there. There we go. And you take the top of it off. It's kind of hard to do. And then I put this down here, and I get my barrier ring. This is the one that I use. The Hollister barrier rings absorb moisture, and they have ceramide in it, and so this has ceramide in it also, and it helps with healing. So basically this one isn't big enough for the opening. You have to peel off both sides. And a lot of people just start stretching these, but the easiest way to get the proper size is to put your thumbs in and just go around putting your thumbs in until you get it close to the size that you need. Then you take that and you put it on your actual flange, and then you kind of push it just a little bit to get it to fit, and then set it down like that. And what I do is I just push on the inside to make sure that it's properly secured. So I'm going to set this aside. Now, this should have released by the time I was talking. See how easy it is to peel it off? It just comes right off. Now I have an ulcer, and I've got a patch here that is because I've got an ulcer, and I need to clean it off. So I have some saline solution and a little wipe here that I'm going to clean this off with. Sorry if it's gross, but this is kind of how it actually is for everybody who has one of these. You can see my ulcer here, which is my hole. I'm trying to get it healed up. And I went to my WOCN, who had given me some special products to put on it. Okay, so I've done that. Now I'm taking my adhesive remover, and this is the best adhesive remover that there is. Let me tell you, it's got some liquid in it, so hold it carefully. A lot of people pour that liquid out and use it to peel off their bag. I use it to actually put the adhesive remover wipes on here, and then whenever I go around my stoma, I put a little bit more of that fluid on so that I can actually get all of the adhesive off of my skin. This has a really rough texture on one side, and if you have any type of adhesive that is stuck, then it helps you be able to do this and scrub it and get it clean and get all of that adhesive off. This is very, very good stuff. Okay, I'm going to let that dry just for a minute. I'm going to take a piece of gauze and just dry it off a little bit. There we go, and I'm going to keep that handy just in case I need it. Now, for this ulcer that I have here, they gave me something called Hydrophera. This is what it looks like. And it's a blue sheet. And I just have to cut a piece of it off and put it on there. And it has chemicals and stuff on it that will help with healing this ulcer. So I just cut it out. And there's a shiny side and there's a dull side. You need to make sure you put it shiny side up whenever you put it on you, because the other side is what is in contact with your skin, and that is what helps it heal. It's got some chemicals and some medicine on there. So I put it on top of there. Pull it back just a teeny bit from that opening, like that. Then I have a protective sheet that they gave me. I usually use Coloplast protective sheets, but this is one that they gave me, and it's just a simple sheet like this, and cut out a little piece of it like that. And it has a plastic on one side. This is the side that goes up because it's got a little bit of a rough texture, and your adhesives will adhere to it. So you peel off the back of it, and it's a little rubber sheet. You peel that part off, and then you use this to cover the area where the other medicine is on. So I have to push it down really good. Sorry about that. Push it down and make sure that it gets adhered all the way around. And see, there's a little bit of space on each side so that that is actually covered. Then what I do is, if there's any breaks in my skin or any problems, I'll put stoma powder on it. I've got just a teeny bit of a redness that's right around here, and you put all of the powder, you go like this and get the powder to the very end, you squirt it on, then you go like this, get the powder to the bottom, and then you use the air from the bottle to squirt the extra powder away. I don't know if any of you all knew that, but that's easier way than having to use way too much. This is the crusting technique, and before I did get this medicine, I had to do this 3 times. But this is, I'm going to only do it once. Here's the barrier that goes on top of it. So you put the powder on, the stoma powder first, and then use a barrier wipe or spray. This is a little dauber, which I really love. This is my very favorite one. If you haven't used it or tried it, I'd highly recommend it. And you dab wherever the white stoma powder was so that it seals it in, and that's your double crusting. I also take this and I put it around all the way where my adhesive is going to be, because this is a barrier film that helps the adhesives to stick. And then I let it dry a little bit. You can do the stoma powder and the barrier film or the spray or the wipes as many times as you need to. And I just do this a little bit just to get it dry, and it's already dry. So I'm ready to put on my flange with my barrier ring on it. Now, since I have a belly button here, I do mine sideways, and where the barrier ring is kind of sideways here, that's where I put it next to that. So I put this on. This is the bottom part, the lower part of my stoma. This is my upper part, so I don't want to close that off. And you put that barrier on. Sorry, the flange on. A lot of people call it barrier rings, but the actual barrier rings are the rings that was in this container that is underneath here. Now, a lot of people warm these flanges up beforehand and their barrier rings before they put them on. What I do is I go around and I push this down so that there's good contact with the barrier rings and my skin, so that it will stick better and it will adhere better. And then you're ready to put your bag on. I'm sorry, I forgot to take off these bottom adhesive flaps. It's hard to undo it here, but if you reach down here and grab it, it comes off very easily. Again, reach down. Instead of getting the pointy corner, get the rounded corner, and you can just peel it right off. And straighten out my skin, and I've got my barrier ring, my flange, everything is on, and it's ready to go. Then I can take my trash can away, and then I have my bag, which has this ring that clips on to here. This is for it to be burped, and this is to put your belt on with to hold it in. I have a convex flange because mine tends to retract a lot, so I do it a little bit sideways. But you put the ring on and go around the edges, and you click it on like that. Here's the outside of the actual flange, and this is the bag, and you can put your fingers between that and you can snap it on if you're having trouble snapping it on. Here's the belt clips right here on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and clip my belt on. That's because I have problems with retractions, so this helps keep it out and it doesn't give me problems. So I've got my belt on, and if I need to burp my bag, what I do is, a lot of people, you know, they'll open the end up and they'll push the air down and then they'll reseal it. The easiest way I've found to do it is to roll up your bag like this, and you have all this air in here. It's normally a lot, and I push on it and release this top little tab right here, push the air out, and then I reseal it, and then I make sure that it's closed. And there you have your complete bag change, and you're good to go.